So today we are going to be making the Cal Kestis lightsaber, or more specifically, the lightsaber that Cal inherited from Jaro after his lightsaber was blasted in half, hence the wires. Materials list is in the description box below, so let's get started. So start by taking a cardboard tube. I'm using an old wrapping paper roll here. You just want to cut it down to size. I cut mine 8 inches in length. And then I'd saved a bunch of old used puffy paint bottles because that's what I do. I save junk and I make things. And so I stuck a little bit of glue on the end of that puffy paint bottle and shoved that right into the end of the cardboard tube. And then I took a bunch of junk, so I've got some hook and eye loops. I just glued a bunch of those around the little puffy paint jar. Then I took an old ring. Precious. No, not that ring. And I just glued it onto there too, and then a bunch of different beads and some more hook and eye loops. Then I took some old cords. These are like old phone cords or earbud cords or something, and glued a bunch of those on. It uses the broken wires. And the plastic beads that I've got on here, a lot of them have holes in them. So I painted them all silver, and then just take a dry brush and dab on some black paint. You want to do this really sporadically, just to make it look like it's, you know, the burned inner workings of the lightsaber. And as it dries, it looks even better. Then I painted the whole tube black. Then I took some copper wires. I think these are like leftover from old phone cords. Again, I save everything. And stuck a little bit of glue on the end of them by dipping them into the tube. And just, again, those plastic beads, the ones that have holes in, I just stuck some wires into those and left them sticking out. You can splay them out, make them look like they've been broken and singed, and gives the effect of the broken lightsaber. And so then take a piece of silver adhesive foil and go around the other end of the cardboard tube, and take a rectangle of craft foam and cut out some long slits. You want to make sure this craft foam is long enough to go around the lightsaber. Stick a piece of foil over the slits. Trace the slits onto the foil. Use pen because it's the best thing that'll work on this stuff. And then just take an X-Acto knife and cut out the slits out of the silver foil so that they will match perfectly when you glue it back onto the front of the craft foam. And then you'll take that piece and you want to overlap the silver strip that you put on a few minutes ago. You want to overlap that and just go all the way around there, just like that. And then take some thinner strips and you'll put these around the black part of the craft foam, leaving space in between the strips so that you get the little silver stripes all the way up, just like that. And then you want to take a little piece of cardstock that's kind of curved, stick some silver foil on one side of that, put some glue on the back side, and then just glue that so that the base of it touches the craft foam so that it goes off at kind of an angle. And then take yourself a bead with some little ridges in it, paint that silver, and glue that onto the flat silver part there of the cardboard tube. And then a strip of silver foil on the cardboard part so it's below the craft foam. And then I took some of that plastic canvas that they make the designs with the yarn and stuff. And I measured out a piece so that it would just slightly go over the end of the lightsaber, the junk part. Measure it out so that it goes all the way around. Cut a bunch of nasty notches in it. And this is the fun part. Do this outside to make sure it's ventilated, but just take a match and melt the edges of it so it looks like it's been singed by a laser blast. And then you just want to glue that around the handle so it just barely overlaps. Then take a piece of craft foam and on the open end push that down into the craft foam so you get the indentation, and just cut that out with a pair of scissors and glue that right into the open end of the cardboard tube. Then this was an old ribbon spool. I don't know why they put plastic ribbon spools in, but I see no point in wasting them. So paint that black, and then paint a copper line around the bottom, thin copper line. Metallic paints work best. And then I just kind of took artistic liberty with this part, and I just wound a bunch of wires around it. It's actually a lot more complex than this, but I was just looking to kind of simplify it because you don't really see much of this anyway. So I just made it simple. You just glue that onto the end of that craft foam circle. And then take another larger cardboard tube. You want to cut that so it's longer than that black tube you just painted and glued on. Kind of cut the corners off. Make 2 of those. And cover those in silver foil. And cut off the excess. Cover both sides, the inside and the outside. Then take some 5mm pieces of craft foam. Just stick one on each side of the black tube. Put some glue on the outsides of those. And those little silver cardboard pieces, stick one on each side on those black pieces of craft foam. And so then paint a little black rectangle and put some puffy paint over that, and this is right before where the plastic mesh starts. And so then here we have the entire Cal Kestis lightsaber after it's of course been blown in half. And it gives it just kind of that fun melted look. Oh look, an old broken lightsaber. It should look nice in my collection. Oh! Seriously, was not expecting that thing to still work.